like I said, this is about to be my first reaction of the dark reality of Drake and Josh. Yeah, man, it's definitely a dope show I used to watch coming up on, what was it, Nickelodeon, I think? Man, dog, I always wish I had a stepbrother. I had an actual brother, but I always wish I had a stepbrother that was a little closer in age and have a relationship like these guys had. But we about to watch the dark reality of Drake and Josh. You know what I'm saying? Make sure if you're watching this on YouTube to subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the noti bell, and if you're on Twitch, follow, hit that noti bell. I'm trying to get to affiliate, but we about to react to this. This is my first time watching it, and yeah, let's get it. Enough yapping.
Their first image of you. We all
hold on, whoa. Make sure my whoa. Y'all thought I was gonna mess up. No, I wasn't. I got it. Let's get it.
Two best friends, Josh Peck, a chubby but lovable outsider from New York, and Drake Bell, a good-looking guitar player from California. The two teens couldn't be more opposite, but their chemistry together was infectious. While we fondly think of the brotherly love they displayed on television, the dark reality exposed by Josh Peck recently is that they were actually never friends.
I heard that.
Let's take it back.
I heard they really wasn't cool like that.
The Amanda Show. This sketch comedy show was basically Nickelodeon's version
of
Saturday Night Live, starring Amanda
W Show.
The show was wildly loved by Nickelodeon fans. Drake Bell was a regular character since the very.
Regardless of what's going on with Amanda Bynes, now she was definitely a major influence on anyone pre-1995. Anybody born pre-1995 definitely know Amanda Bynes, and she played a big focal point in our childhood. So Amanda Bynes and the Nickelodeon show, I think it's Nickelodeon show, Nickelodeon Network, that put her on. It was definitely dope, and it was definitely funny. My favorite part from the Amanda Show, man, that was my favorite part. If you know, you know. If you don't, LU, bruh.
First episode in 1999. Josh wouldn't become an on-screen regular until seasons 2 and 3. Slowly, he was integrated in the show, and those two had some iconic sketches that we still love today. Drake wasn't very fond of Josh in the beginning because he was the only boy on the show, but they had very similar interests in old movies and comedies. They would bounce funny ideas off each other and quickly developed great chemistry. The producer Dan Schneider got some pressure from the network to come up with another buddy comedy.
Dan Schneider, whoa.
While filming one of the last episodes.
Dan Schneider, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Dan Schneider, boy, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, boy. You already know what I'm talking about.
Episodes of the season where Drake and Josh fight over a shrimp, Stephen Malaro, who was a writer on The Amanda Show, walked over to Dan and was like, those two guys are your buddy comedy right there. 6 months later, Drake and Josh was born. Make sure you're hydrated while watching this video.
Drake Bell and
Josh
Peck. They've grown up on The Amanda Show, battling lobsters, fending off frog puppets, and getting beaten up by girls on a regular basis. So what's next for this dynamic duo? Their own show. Nickelodeon presents Drake and
I feel like I remember it.
Drake and Josh.
You will notice in this video how all the tropes, storylines, and character traits in the Drake and Josh show turned out to be the exact opposite of how their real-life futures went. Josh went on to be a very successful, popular, and handsome actor.
He looks
Megan,
exact same.
aka Miranda Cosgrove, went from evil little girl to sweet, unproblematic, successful actor. And Drake went on to plead guilty to child endangerment while still struggling to get his music career off the ground in America.
Crazy. He looked the same, though. He ain't aged at all.
Were two brothers bound by their parents' marriage, forced to live in the same house, go to the same school, hang out with the same friends, while having totally opposite personalities. Josh was the hefty, emotional dork, while Drake was a smooth-talking ladies' man who led a rock band. The first season was a little more typical to any sitcom, coming up with catchphrases and basic plot lines. Luckily, the show got much better after season 1. They consistently got themselves in ridiculous situations and had to either work together or against each other to get out of them, like when they came up with a master plan to sell Gary Coleman grills, which got them in jail, versus when they were fighting each other over a foam finger. In the beginning, it was very common that Josh was the butt of the joke. I mean, it's very easy to pick on the overweight, goofy kid. Drake, on the other hand, would often be the bad guy. He was lazy, rude, and self-centered. He wouldn't stand up for his brother Josh. He would hang out with girls and friends without him, and basically had a hard time accepting Josh as his brother. As the seasons went on, the audience loved them both. Josh
I remember
was
that.
Not a punching bag anymore, and sort of just.
That was later, Josh. So Josh, when he got later, he was tall. He was, slim. Oh man, W Josh, bro. W Josh.
the sweet, jolly brother who was there for
No,
Drake
wait.
no matter what.
Yeah,
Plus,
Josh.
He had lost a lot of weight by the last season, so the fat jokes didn't really work anymore. Drake warmed up to Josh. His character remained the inconsiderate troublemaker, but now Josh was having more luck with girls. He was less nerdy and became more competitive with Drake. Ultimately, at the end of every episode, they resolved their differences and concluded with a happy moment. These two just understood each other when it came to performing. Drake and Josh were the new age Bob Hope and Bing Crosby, Abbott and Costello, Martin and Lewis, Cheech and Chong, Keenan and Kel. They were so good it made us all believe that they
Keenan
were
and
best
Kel.
friends beyond the screen, and I'm sad to admit that that was not the case. Off the show, their lives were pretty normal in the sense that they weren't these mega famous
They got a
celebrities
bitch
ducking
car.
paparazzi everywhere they
cheap.
go. Plus, remember their target audience was 9 to 15-year-olds who had no way of showing Drake and Josh how much they loved the show. A lot of us forget that in 2005 there was barely any social media,
True.
no smartphones,
That
no
was
YouTube,
hey.
no live streams, no follower.
Let me just say this. Minus no YouTube and no Twitch, because that's how I'm trying to make my audience grow. You know what I'm saying? All the rest of that, L. You know what I'm saying? L. You know what I'm saying? L. Internet is bad, bro. And YouTube is not for kids. I'm just letting you know. At least no kids under the age of like 7. It's not for little kids. YouTube should not raise your kids, bro. Just saying. Just my opinion. I'm just ranting, but my son will not be watching no YouTube unless it's with me supervised until he's at least 7. And then he'll still be YouTube kids. Because I know how you watch my videos. I do my videos on these YouTube P words. If you know what I'm saying.
Counts. They worked a 9 to 5 while other kids went to school, and they went home to their families every day just like anyone else. These two just did what most normal teens do. Go to parties, hang out with girls, maybe get in some trouble. Well, at least Drake did. Josh wasn't partying much. Josh was actually going through some really tough times. Josh Peck was raised by a single mother. He actually never met his father. He was always interested in being an entertainer, doing stand-up comedy at the age of 9 years old because anything athletic was definitely out of the question. However, he always wanted to fit in. Being an outsider wasn't this cool, interesting thing for kids in the late 90s. Think about popular films and shows glamorizing high school life. You had the jocks, the hot girls, the nerds. Kids like Josh Peck were hoping that they would be a part of the popular crowd and get invited to the parties when high school came. But we all know he wasn't. Drake was very similar to the character he portrayed on the show, a slick Cali bro who had girlfriends and went to parties as a teen. So them being very different worked on the show, but wasn't very practical in real life. I think they mentioned having sleepovers when they were casted on the Amanda show, but as they got older, they didn't hang out in their personal lives. Josh was sick and tired of being this version of himself he hated. It wasn't
True.
all vanity though. He knew he would keep getting casted as a fat, funny guy for the rest of his career if he didn't make a change. He wanted to have a successful acting career, so that also inspired the weight loss which we witnessed on TV. As he started to lose weight, he was finally starting to fit in with the normal kids. So Josh started to do what normal kids do.
And suddenly I'm like now looking like a normal kid and a normal teen. And I'm like, oh, they do drugs and that's normal. And they go to house parties. And they go to
GG's.
clubs.
Josh started
Chalk it up,
acting
William.
more like Drake's character, but in real life. It was a double-edged sword. Obviously, he was being accepted socially, but being heavily addicted to drugs was the price he had to pay. By the time
GG's.
they were both 20, Drake and Josh was over. Their relationship, it's complicated. Drake loved his time spent on the show. It was what he always dreamed of. His dad raised him on buddy comedies like Dean and Jerry, Abbott and Costello. Once he met Josh and they got their own TV show, he was living his biggest dream. Plus, he was absolutely adored by the Nickelodeon world. Taking a look at this list of Kids' Choice Awards, which is pretty much the big
Who's that?
Who's Mary Cannon?
That's the woman that that's the woman that used to live here.
But why does she have one and I have one? It says Gerber Life Insurance Company.
I have no idea. Right return. I don't know.
No, but she has one and I have one. That's what I'm saying. Like, why do we both have the same thing for, like, Gerber? That's like baby stuff, and she's like, what? She old.
Yeah,
Do you think it's a scam?
I have no idea.
Because I
Probably.
didn't sign up for that.
Yeah, you might not wanna. You can open it or whatever, but put it back in the mailbox and put the flag up.
Her?
Yes, for her. Apologize, gang. Life, you know what I'm saying? Life be life.
biggest thing you can get as a Nickelodeon star. 2006, favorite TV actor, Drake Bell. 2007, favorite TV actor, Drake Bell.
That's
2007,
crazy.
Best TV actor, Drake Bell. 2008,
That's
favorite
messed
TV
up.
actor, Drake Bell. It was very clear that Drake was the star and Josh was the co-star, despite Josh being funnier and more memorable in almost every aspect.
True.
Drake had full intentions on moving forward
Josh
with
was
his
much
career
better.
alongside Josh, doing more movies and TV shows together just like the buddy comedy duos he idolized. Josh had other plans. Drake was never aware of what Josh was going through behind the scenes. Josh wanted to move on from the show. He was known as the fat, funny punching bag who brought way more comedic value to the scene. When we watch these old episodes, we feel happy. Josh sees an underappreciated, depressed, overweight, and insecure child hiding his true feelings from everyone.
You know
So he
what?
took his
I'm
own
gonna
route.
I'm gonna say something. Bigger people are usually better people, funnier people, and nicer people. I'm just saying, but bigger people, like in size, if you know what I'm saying, people challenged through weight are usually funnier. They're usually smarter. They're nicer. They're just more pure people. That's just my opinion. Just rambling. Just you know.
Immediately after Nickelodeon, he got a voice acting role as Eddie in Ice Age, got to star in the film The Whackness, which premiered at the Sundance Film Festival and was critically acclaimed. He basically stayed busy every single year since then, having a film or TV role, including the Fox sitcom Grandfathered, where he was a star alongside John Stamos. He became one of the most popular creators on Vine, which is where he would eventually meet David Dobrik, the Paul Brothers, the Vlog Squad, and become a popular influencer on YouTube with millions of subscribers. Drake hung around Nickelodeon a little longer. He did star in a terrible Superbad remake movie called College, as well as a poorly received spoof comedy superhero movie. After that, for the next decade, a few small roles in a bunch of random movies that you never heard of. His career stayed alive because of consistent TV work given to him on Nickelodeon. He did tons of different voice acting roles and one-off shows throughout the years. His music career is actually very interesting. Disney knew how to set up their actors' music careers, whereas all Nickelodeon music careers struggled. Drake has no gold or platinum records in America despite releasing music consistently for the past 17 years. However, in Mexico and various Spanish-speaking countries, Drake Bell, aka Drake Campana, is a huge star. He's had multiple high-charting Billboard singles and albums in Mexico. In some of these countries, he does shows for thousands of people. He speaks Spanish, releases all his new music in Spanish, provides Spanish subtitles with everything he does. I'm not really sure how that all happened, but it's been very fruitful for him.
Hey,
in 2014, he filed for bankruptcy.
If I ever become big in Spain or Mexico or any Spanish speaking country, I will definitely have to learn the language. I'm just being real. I gotta cater to my fans, bro. I gotta cater to the fans. That's just how it is. You go for whoever buying your product, if that makes sense to you, like it makes sense to me.
Owing over $500,000 in taxes. In
Dang,
2016,
cuz you
he
didn't
was
even pay
arrested for his
taxes.
Second driving under the influence charge.
20.
He reminds me of
180.
Orlando Brown with
That's
that
how many
driving under
clients
the
I'm going to
influence
get you,
stuff.
and that's
Like,
how many days it's going to take me to do it.
the issues
And
with
I will
driving
do
under
it.
influence. That's what reminds me of. Dude, no, get out of
He
here.
served 1 day in jail and 4 years probation. When you're not invited to the wedding, the message is clear. True colors have come out today. Message is loud and clear. Ties are officially cut. I'll miss you, brother. Summer of 2017, Josh got married to his longtime girlfriend, Paige, and Drake was not invited. The great fallout of Drake and Josh was the new viral gossip piece, and the internet was loving it. It seemed like just yesterday they were roommates playing ping pong and working at the movie theater. We thought Drake would be the best man. Turns out, he didn't even know about the wedding. The story blew up bigger than Drake could imagine.
Jeez.
Thankfully, a couple months later, they made up and did some YouTube content together.
Back together again. We're all good.
Then they both spent the next year or so doing press for other projects, and people just kept asking about the marriage incident. They had already publicly made up, but I guess interviewers wanted the drama. In
Yeah, they
2018 and 2019, they made a number of different content pieces together, and it really seemed like their relationship was as good as it can get.
Cat dog. He got cat dog on his shirt. Hey,
In 2019,
W shirt. Cat dog is definitely an underrated TV show. Just saying.
Josh came up with the idea to do a reboot of their classic show. The name of the reboot, Josh and Drake. When he reached out to Drake to read the script, things got weird. The idea was that Drake was going to be a failed musician and Josh was a successful real estate agent. They were basically parodying Drake's real life as a musician in Mexico, while Josh's character was a totally made-up life. Maybe they were trying to get back at Drake because his character was originally the cool guy and Josh was the loser. The opening line in the very first episode was supposed to be, "Hug yourself, kid," instead of their trademark saying, "Hug me, brother," which would have just been a slap in the face to the fandom. Then it transitions to Drake in Mexico performing at a quinceañera for the daughter of a drug cartel leader, where they are all drinking and doing hard drugs, which leads to a gunfight, and then they don't want to give Drake his money, which is all a super stereotypical way that Americans convey Mexican culture in Hollywood.
Ooh.
Drake didn't want to do the Drake and Josh reboot without making some creative changes.
Yeah, don't do
because
that.
He didn't want to disrespect his Mexican
Exactly,
fans.
don't do
Josh
that.
wouldn't let Drake make those creative changes, and shortly after that, Drake started getting into his legal trouble. In 2020, Drake was outed by his ex-girlfriend Melissa on TikTok about how abusive he was in their past relationship, which went pretty viral. Drake denied all claims of physical abuse, but admitted he could be verbally abusive like a lot of couples get during a fallout. This story led to multiple other accusations, including one that would make the courtroom. He pled guilty via Zoom to a felony attempted child endangerment and a misdemeanor charge of disseminating matter harmful to juveniles in June of 2021. But Drake was accused of much worse, including sending explicit pictures and engaging in sexual activity with a minor. However, he only admitted guilt of sending text messages that were sexual and then stopped.
I think I had heard about that on that whole Disney Channel thing with Dan Shermer, whatever his name is, the creative writer for the show. So I kind of know what happened with Drake's story. And it's quite sad, you know. I feel that's why I feel the way I feel about YouTube with kids. And certain characters that are portrayed and certain people that's on YouTube making content. That's why I feel the way I feel about them. I will never align myself with every YouTuber or the top YouTubers. There's few YouTubers that you'll never, if I ever become big, you'll never see me collab with because I feel some type of way about you. You feel me? But hey, it's nothing personal. It's just my own morals I like to stand on. You know, I'm gonna die with my own honor. I'm gonna die on that hill. You feel me? So it is what it is.
Up to once he was aware of the victim's age. The situation is definitely creepy, and there are a lot of other factors to consider which have been broken down extensively on YouTube. But the internet is not convinced that Drake is innocent of the harsher things he was accused of. His social reputation has obviously been ruined because of this. Which leads us to today. Josh Peck recently made some big claims on a podcast that he and Drake were never friends.
Are you guys like not friends?
Not really, no.
He told a number of different lies on these podcasts that are starting to make fans question everything.
I knew that Drake and I didn't stay in touch for the 10 years since we had made the show, but no one needed to know that.
Here they are in 2012 at what appears to be a house party. Here they are spending Christmas together in 2013. Here are multiple instances of them hanging out in 2014.
Josh lying?
In 2015, they had Drake come on Josh's show Grandfathered.
I think it's just an opportunity for Drake and I to be working together again, and obviously we love each other.
Plus, Drake says that they talked when Josh announced that he was engaged. To suggest that they at least didn't stay in touch is wild.
He was surprised he wasn't invited then?
You know what's crazy? I think Josh just trying to, like, that kid that got buff after school after being like lame his whole life, got buff after school, and now he has like a vengeance towards everybody that bullied him. Or, you know what I'm saying? The guy that took his high school girlfriend. That's the kind of ideology that he's giving me. Like, he's got the cop syndrome. Like, I was lame in school, but now I'm the boss type of thing. That's the kind of mentality he got. And that's what I feel like. I feel like it's a little bit of both. Like, Drake also kind of rubbed it in his face a little bit. Just, he was a child though, but you know, both of them are at the blame. I'm not trying to blame one or the other.
If he's going bananas on you?
He's surprised, but then he takes to the internet and he starts writing these tweets that immediately like catch fire. And so then he like leans in and goes on this press tour about how heartbroken he is.
Drake tweeted two things and the internet dragged them out. Plus, there was no press tour. Then 2 months after that, they made up publicly and made some YouTube content together. After they made up publicly, Drake and Josh throughout the next year would talk about the marriage incident in various interviews. So I think Josh is just remembering things incorrectly.
I was at the Video Music Awards and I see him there and he sees me. And I go up to him, like, and this might be the most Sopranos thing I've ever done. And I look at him and I go apologize to my wife right now.
Josh literally filmed himself walking up to Drake. Does this look like how a gangster moves?
And is that the last communication?
Pretty much.
The VMAs was in August of 2017.
Why would you
Since then,
lie?
they have filmed multiple YouTube videos together.
What kind of clout you get from lying, bro? Like, I don't know. That's some
on Drake and
weird
Josh
stuff there,
revealed,
baby.
And I can only imagine they spend time together in their personal lives as well. That is not even close to the last time that they've had communication. Drake just recently started a podcast called Drake and Janet, with the same branding, which is just kind of weird, bro. Like, let it go. Drake still says nothing but good things about Josh and wants nothing more for them to be friends again. After all, the Drake and Josh show was the biggest and most successful thing that Drake has ever done, which isn't the same thing for Josh. He has absolutely destroyed his social reputation, and him repairing his relationship with Josh might be the only thing that could win over the people's trust again. However, it's pretty evident that Josh wants nothing to do with Drake. While he may be lying about them never being friends, he has made it very clear that since the show ended in 2007, he wanted to no longer be the secondary character, the fat funny guy, Drake's sidekick, and he worked extremely hard to build a career off his comedy and create a vision. Who could have ever guessed that their real life situation would turn out exactly like the episode Josh has done?
Come on, dude, I said I was sorry.
Yeah, I heard you.
Well, stop being mad at me.
I'm not mad at you. I'm done.
What is that supposed to mean?
I don't want anything to do with you anymore.
Josh! What? Look, I'm sorry. Well, look, let me finish, okay? I was wrong, okay? I was wrong.
What do you mean?
I need you more than you need me. I need you way more than you need me, all right? I'm sorry. I just need you to understand that... Sorry, Josh. I'm sorry.
Dang. Hey. W episode, bro. Thank you, Patrick CC, for making that content. All credit to Patrick CC. That's his video. So go subscribe to him if you want to see these things. Minus my commentary. I doubt you do, because I'm pretty funny and I got some dope input. But till next time, it's your boy Rado Rizzo, and I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Peace. Oh, wait, by the way, before you leave, what you think about that Drake and Josh situation? Do you think Josh kind of like lying and like pushing this narrative that Drake's a bad guy, like in the relationship? Or do you think like Drake is the reason why they're not friends? He did something behind the scenes. Let me know in the comments. Till next time, I see whatever. Yeah. All right. Bye. But let's get in some Total War. Yeah, let's get in some Total War. Let me set my alarm because I do have to work today, gang. So, you know what I'm saying? The grind do not stop. But at the same time,